Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. We are doing the test run of the Rivarossi Milan Edison tram. So I have made a modified test track. This is my usual test track, and I'm going to use a piece of rail as a pointer. You'll see that I have made a sort of overhead, because this, as I have said in many other videos, the Rivarossi tram system picks up one polarity from the rails, the other polarity from the overhead. It uses specific track with overhead. Of course, I don't have any of that track, so I've had to modify my test track accordingly. So let's have a quick look at the electrical connection. Ugh. This looks interesting, doesn't it? This looks like the recipe for a short circuit. Okay, let's use a pencil to point and tell you what's what. So here's my mechanical controller. Right, let's begin. There's a mechanical controller comes out on these two brown cables here. And there's this red, the red crocodile clip cable is powering the rails. This yellow one is powering the other rail, so this is sort of jumping, it's like a jump cable to connect it to have the same polarity on both rails. And the white cable with a crocodile clip is connected to the other polarity of the mechanical controller, which you can see there, connected to this brown cable which goes in there. And so now we have one polarity on the rails, on both rails, and one polarity on the overhead. I thought many different solutions. At the beginning I tested it just using the other polarity connected to my little stainless steel ruler, but there was no way I could do a proper test run in that condition. I'd even thought of just connecting a cable to the bow collector, but that's also not realistic. So I've made overhead using some rails propped up on these two pieces of foam packing, which are very useful. You've seen me using these before. I've added some tire weights here just to make it to stop it from being moved by the bow collector, so it's relatively stable. Of course, we're only connected to one of these rails, this rail. So I've tested this various times. Let's see if it's going to work. That's rather good. Now it got stuck. Ah, disaster. Hold on, because of course, we have to also be on the clean bit of the. We got stuck. What a letdown. Come on, I'm doing the test run. I'll probably shoot away now. There you go. That works very well. Okay, there must be a point here with this kind of dirty rail. This is an old, what rail is this? Can't really see. Oh, for heaven's sake. Somebody's cooking garlic. It's 10 o'clock at night. I've got the window open, the fan on, and I'm getting a whiff of garlic coming in through the window. People never stop cooking in this block. Okay, it's actually quite a nice smell, but I've already had my dinner. Okay. Right, let's just do this again. In Italian we say il bello della diretta, the great thing of live recording or live. Okay, let's just do a thing. Let's say that we've arrived at the terminus, so we're just going to invert the bow collector. We'll turn it around the other way. I'll do it, I can't really lift it up properly here, so I'm just going to do it like that. Excuse me, I'm working with one hand, and I'm just going to pop that back on the rails, trying not to knock the overhead over. Bing we go, that should be quite nice. And we'll invert the direction of the controller, and that's really rather nice. This is slightly, it's not touching the clean bit, the polished part of it. No, what's that? Anyway, you can see that it works, it's working. Of course, my overhead is rubbish. This is absolute rubbish. If I went in reverse, it even works in reverse, but it's better not to reverse it with the bow collector in that position, otherwise it'll touch the fish plates and cause a major disaster. You can see that it's working. Let's just go the other way. I'm just going to push it back now, and we'll test it with the trailer. This is really a great test, isn't it? High technology. Honestly, if this tram were mine, I would consider making myself a layout, a wee circuit, even not because of course the what do you call it, the specific track costs. You have to find it, it's expensive. Not that the trams aren't expensive, they're also expensive, but I would make a small layout and I would make my own overhead using lengths of electrical cable, peeling the insulation off and soldering the joints, and I would just make my own copper wire overhead pulled nice and tight. So let's have a look with the trailer. Let's have another look in another direction. Let's see if it's going to go. Oh, it's about to take the... It's going very well. It goes better when it's not so squashed. Maybe I could even be an optimist and take this off. Let's see. I just took this weight. Maybe I shouldn't put the weight so far in. I should put it, say, here, because it tends to lift. Let's see if we can go backwards. It does go backwards. We're just going to pull it back by hand, and we'll connect the trailer. This way we can see it with the trailer in action. Have to get a trailer on. It is a footer doing this job, but okay, let's see what happens now. Oh, we're going the wrong way, of course. That's really nice. What do you say of that? Okay, now we have the problem that we're facing the wrong way. Let's just take the trailer off, take the tram off. I'm just going to pop it off like that. Bow collector in the other direction. This is the direction it was always run in. So you can see that here, probably, it's nice and shiny since I cleaned it, so I don't really need to give the bow collector a wee clean. Shall we give it a wee clean? Let's give it a wee clean. Pardon me 1 minute, just stay here, bear with me. Here we go. You can watch what I'm doing. I'm getting a cotton bud and some lighter fluid, which is in here, and we'll give the bow collector a quick polish. But it's clean. Since we cleaned it with a fiberglass pencil, it's still nice and shiny. Of course, it's been sitting around in here unused, so you get some black coming off anyway. It's copper after all. I cleaned the rails before. Okay, so we'll no doubt have improved the conductivity at this stage. Let's put the lid back on that lighter fluid and put it away. So you can see that the bow collector is much more worn out there. This is a point, but this tram was used extensively on its original layout by its original owner, and definitely it's, excuse me, I'm doing it without, I'm just popping that on the rails. Righto, I'm going backwards. Oops, it's taking the fish plates with it. Okay, getting the camera again. Okie doke, here we are. Is this in focus? Why is it not in focus? What's it got? Oh, what have I done? Oh, I've zoomed by mistake, excuse me. I don't want it zoomed. I want the normal focus. Okay, sorry, video number 2.